So Gobert is out. You see both head coaches now talking with the officials, Quinn Snyder and Billy Donovan. We don't know what they're talking about. And until we do, we can't report anything. So clearly the officials talking with both head coaches. The fans here in the arena don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on. And so as soon as we get any kind of information, we will certainly pass it along.
The game tonight has been postponed. You are all safe.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Rick Aaron. We begin with breaking news tonight. The National Basketball Association has suspended the season after a Utah Jazz player tested positive for the COVID-19 virus, forcing the sudden postponement of tonight's Jazz Thunder game in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, just a wild night unfolding in the NBA tonight. The Jazz confirming that a player did test positive, while sources at ESPN confirming that player is All-Star center Rudy Gobert. Now, this video we're about to see shows Gobert just the other day at a press conference where he was joking around about the new media availability rules due to COVID-19 by touching each of the microphones there.
ESPN senior NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski tweeted that the Jazz players are being quarantined in Oklahoma City and will have to coordinate with Utah and Oklahoma health officials before they are allowed to return to Utah.
Getting the word in our headphones from our producer Spencer Julian about some very sobering news. The NBA has decided to suspend game play following the conclusion of tonight's games. Now, during the hiatus of the suspension, they'll figure out and try to determine what the next steps will be.
After the NBA suspended its season yesterday, it seemed like it was only a matter of time before the G League did the same. At 12:30 late last night, the G League announcing it's stopping the season.
Evening. Welcome to the first edition of Coffee Break Tennis since the beginning of the COVID-19 era. Tennis is in a state of emergency. The ATP has suspended all tennis for 6 weeks due to public health and safety issues over COVID-19. As of yesterday, all ATP Tour and Challenger events scheduled up to and during the week of April 20th will not take place.
Welcome back to First Take. More breaking news. Our Adrian Wojnarowski just tweeted this. Jazz star Donovan Mitchell has tested positive for the coronavirus. League sources tell ESPN Jazz players privately say that Rudy Gobert has been careless in the locker room, touching other players and their belongings. Now a Jazz teammate has tested positive. Woj will be with us in just a moment. Brian Windhorst.
Major League Soccer is the latest league to suspend play as the country tries to deal with COVID-19. MLS released a statement on Twitter, seen here, addressing when play could pick up again, saying, quote, "At the appropriate time, the league and clubs will communicate plans for the continuation of the 2020 season."
The NBA was the first domino to fall. The NHL likely will not be the last, but the NHL just announcing that they are pausing the season due to the coronavirus. The NHL holding a conference call with the Board of Governors at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and Commissioner Gary Bettman just issuing this statement. Of note, the final paragraph. "We will continue to monitor all appropriate medical advice, and we will encourage our players and other members of the NHL community to take all reasonable precautions, including by self-quarantine where appropriate. Our goal is to resume play as soon as it is appropriate and prudent so that we will be able to complete the season and award the Stanley Cup. Until then, we thank NHL fans for your patience and hope that you stay healthy."
2020 college basketball season is over. Earlier today, the NCAA announced it is canceling the men's and women's basketball tournaments due to coronavirus concerns. CBS 46's Ayanna Crystal is live tonight at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Ayanna, the final 4 games were supposed to be played there. It is done and over with.
Yeah, that won't be happening because there will be no dancing in March Madness. The reality is really starting to set in because this is usually the best times of the year. But for the first time in the NCAA tournament's 81 history, they have canceled it. And most fans understand why, but it is still extremely disappointing.
All right, news from the world of golf. After initially determining that they could play through without fans present at events, Thursday evening, the PGA Tour decided to suspend its operations effective immediately. Currently in the middle of the Players' Championship, golf's not going to finish that event. And they have, in fact, canceled each event up until the Masters, which is currently slated to begin on April 9th.
The Masters, the golf's first major tournament of the year, has been postponed due to the coronavirus concerns. Again, the Masters tournament has been postponed. Now, this is following the PGA's Tour's decision to halt play at the premier event that they just had, the Players' Championship, following the conclusion of round one. So, again, the Masters is postponed. The tournament update right here, respecting the health and well-being of everyone associated with these events and the citizens of the Augusta community. The 2020 Masters Tournament, the Augusta National Women's Amateur, and the Drive, Chip, and Putt National Finals has been postponed.
We're here today to announce that the 2020 Boston Marathon will be postponed until Monday, September 14th of this year. Our expectation, and it's an expectation and a hope right now, is that this date will get us to a safer place in relation to the spread of the coronavirus.
To unleash the full power of the federal government in this effort today, I am officially declaring a national emergency.